you to think about your ways of worship. Some of you might enjoy Sunday morning services. Some of you might like youth group activities, and some of you might not like to participate at all. People like Clementa Pickney and Cynthia Hurd were spending their Wednesday evening on June 17, 2015 at a Bible study at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina. And now I want you to imagine your typical Saturday night. For some of you, you might be working on homework that you procrastinated to do all week. And for others, the ideal Saturday night is a night out on the town with your best friends. Corey Connell and Amanda Alvear decided on Saturday, June 11, 2016, that they would enjoy a night with friends at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida. 58 individuals in total that day. 58 individuals in total that lost their lives. 58 individuals in total that lost their lives those 2 evenings were simply doing what they love and enjoy, but were affected by an active hatred towards who they were as people and what they believed. Through these 2 events that happened around a year apart from each other, I was able to grasp a better understanding of the hatred that occurs throughout our country. So this is Dylan Roof, and he was the Charleston shooting that occurred in 2015, and these were the 9 victims. And the Daily Beast was one of my sources that I used, and it had several of his friends that spoke about who he was as a person. And John Mullins was someone that he went to high school with, and he remembered Dylan as being very wild, and he was really into drugs and always made racist remarks about people, but everyone just kind of thought it was a joke. And but he had a really strong sense of Southern pride. Joseph Meek was also a childhood friend of his that he reconnected with shortly before the shooting, and he frequently discussed racism with his friend Joseph. And he also brought up the Trayvon Martin shooting and stated that that these racism acts were taking over our world, and someone needed to do something about it for the white race. So he was very racist in all the remarks he made. And also Kristen Skirvin, a black friend of Dylan's, told the Daily Beast that Dylan stated he was looking to kill a bunch of people. But his friend didn't really take this seriously because of all the remarks that he made, so he just kind of let it go. The video. So as you can see in the video, Dylan decided to go to that church that evening and sit in their Bible study group, and ended up starting fire on these 9 individuals that lost their lives that evening. So this is the most recent one. I'm sure you all saw a lot of this throughout the news this summer. Omar Mateen, which is the man right here, he was in charge of the shooting for the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, Florida, this past summer. And CNN claimed that this was the deadliest mass shooting in the United States and the nation's worst terrorist attack since 9/11. President Obama stated that we know enough to say that this was an act of terror and an act of hate. And so this was kind of a hate crime towards the gays and lesbians in their community, and because Pulse nightclub was a gay and lesbian bar. And so while he claimed during a phone call to police that the shooting wasn't, during the shooting that he was a member of ISIS, he also had a strong hatred towards lesbian and gays. And what started this idea was he had told his parents that he saw 2 men kissing in public in Miami, and it made him really offended and outraged. And so that's kind of what started his hatred towards this community of people. And so there were 49 people that lost their lives that night in this shooting. Haas, he was a frequent club goer to this Pulse nightclub. He told CNN that at first it sounded like it was a part of the music in the show, but then all of a sudden, after it lasted for a really long time, people kind of got concerned and what's going on, and then that's when the shooter continued. So, as you can see, Dylan Roof was especially racist to black people, and that he took his racial issues within himself into his own hands and acted out against people and caused 9 lives to go away. And then Omar Mateen, he acted against the lesbian and gay community, which was something that he felt strongly about, but it ended the lives of 49 people as well. In today's society, we are faced with the hatred against certain groups of individuals in our country. While we say united we stand, these 2 acts of terror exhibit the division in our country and the unity that is missing in Americans today. Hate is in the country and world around us, but what we decide to do with it is what makes a world of difference. If Dylan Roof hadn't decided to act out on his racial beliefs, there would still be 9 beautiful human beings on this earth worshiping the Lord. If Omar Mateen didn't show his opinion on gay and lesbian communities, we would still have 49 innocent lives that were just trying to enjoy their Saturday evening. These 2 acts of hatred play a huge role in our society and the way our society is functioning today. While we claim to be united, events like the Charleston shooting and Pulse nightclub terror attacks proves that we are in a war within ourselves.